beautiful people, welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time, welcome. My name is Joy. This is my second update on the Years of Usage eyeshadow project pan created by Sarah Catherine. The goal of this project is for me to use each of the eyeshadows 23 times. I'm working on 4 eyeshadow palettes and the total number of eyeshadows is 62. I said in my intro that I'm aiming to hit 45 eyeshadows. Let's see if I can make that. After doing the first update, I realized 45 eyeshadows may be a lot, but anyway, I will stick with it for now. I'm not going to change my goal. So let me start my update with this eyeshadow palette first, the Glam Metals Crown eyeshadow palette. And there are 9 shades in here. I managed to use this 9 times. This is 2 uses more than in my first update, because in my first update I only used this 7 times. I still haven't got to use all of the shades in here, but the shades that I did not work on in my first update that I finally have tried for this update are Punk, I used that once, and Rock On, I used this once. So these are the 2 eyeshadows that I did not work on last time in my first update. For Black Metal, I've used this 5 times and I've been using that as an eyeliner. And lastly, Pop Rock, I've used that twice. So that's a total of 9 uses. And then next would be the Etude House. For this one, I only used this 14 times. So for this one, actually, because I placed this somewhere else, it was not something that is within my reach. So that's the reason why I failed to use this more than last time. Because last time I used this 31 times, in my first update rather. And this time, I only used this 14 times. The shades that I've used the most is this first shade. And this is White Showroom. I've used that 3 times. The shade that I did not get to work on in my first update is this one. I still haven't tried that one. This is Spring Coat. But the coat hanger, I've now tried that one. I've used that once in this update. And then Room Lighting, I've used that twice. And then the next one that I worked on would be Silver Button. I've used that once. And then I've now moved on to Woolen Coat. I've used that twice, as well as this shade Belted Coat. I've used that twice. Gold Button, I didn't use this last time, but this time I've got to use them and I've used this twice. This shade, so far, I like it. I prefer this over the Silver Button. And lastly, Showroom. I've used that once. So that's a total of 14 uses. The third eyeshadow palette in the project is this Beauty Glaze. This one, I've used 24 times. I've used this the most in my first update because I used this 40 times. Total number of uses rather was 40 uses. And this time it's 24 uses. It's already the most number of uses for this update. For Beauty Glaze, the eyeshadow that I got to use the most is this shade Black. And I've now finally hit my goal of using this 23 times. So this is now out of the project and I'm now focusing on the black shade in the Glam Metal eyeshadow palette. So for this one, apart from black, the eyeshadows I've worked on are, so we have Mud, I used this 3 times. Sienna, I've used that twice. Glaze, I've used that 3 times. And then Scarlet, I've used that once. Mais, I've used that once. Venus, I've used that twice. Muse, I've used that once. And Cashmere, I've used that 3 times. The shades that I still haven't tried still are Apricot and Neutral. So for these two, I still haven't tried it, and probably would take me a while to try it. I'll focus on the shades that I know I will enjoy. These two are just two, sorry, it's not Neutral. It's Apricot and Bisque. For the Apricot one, it's the one that I sort of avoiding it so far for now, because I'm also avoiding Neutral. It's just too orange for my liking. But Bisque, I am definitely going to try that one. These two shades I think are not too different. The Scarlet shade and this Bisque. So that's my update for this one. And the last eyeshadow palette is a Soft X Makeup Revolution collaboration eyeshadow palette. And there are 24 eyeshadows in here. So this one has the most number of eyeshadows in the project. And this one, I have used this 11 times only. The shades that I have tried or I've used for this update are, I've now used Penguin. I've used that once. Fairy Lights, this one, I've used that once. Pink Champagne as well, I've used that once. And Iced Coffee, I've used that once. Then, on this row, I've used Sparks Fly once. I've used Mixed Berries once. And that's it for that row. And then for this row, I've used Pug twice. So it seems this is actually the shade that I've used the most for this update in this palette, because I've used this twice. And then the rest I've only used once. So here, Danger, I've now tried this time. I've used that once. And then we have here Copper Coin. I've used that once. And then lastly, Nightmare. I've used that once. And that's the total number of, equivalent to 11 uses for all of those shades. The shades that I still haven't tried here, we have here this Grow Old, Smoky Bronze, Cloudberry, Pumpkin, and Petrol. So these two shades, I am not sure if I'm even gonna try. Petrol, I might. And then lastly, Rosewood. This one doesn't look like rosewood to me, but yeah, that's called Rosewood. It's like a dark brown shade. So there you go. That's my update for my Years of Usage Eyeshadow Project Pan 2023. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!